in such a beautiful view. It's difficult to return inside.
Okay.
Well, again, good evening, everyone. I'm Ann Weeks. I represent UL's Vice President for Global Government Affairs based here in Washington, D.C. And I have the privilege of welcoming each of you to tonight's event around the theme of Waves of Innovation. We have more than 90 different manufacturers, industry and trade associations, national labs, embassies, consumer groups, and foundations represented here this evening. And I know that there are many things that compete for your scarce resource of time, so thank you for spending an evening with us. I think that the representation tonight reflects the breadth and depth of UL's many unique partnerships that contribute to the safe commercialization of new technologies and products. In that vein, new technologies and new products must be proven. The definition of safety is constantly evolving, with the safety landscape of tomorrow yet to be defined. But we know that safety is now multidimensional, from traditional fire, shock, and casualty hazards to performance and health and environmental impacts. And safety is borderless. Even if particular markets have unique cultural or geographic considerations, all dimensions are increasingly interrelated. Balancing the careful fact-based research that UL undertakes with marketplace demands, speed, access, and transparency is critical. With more than 119 years of experience, UL has been addressing safety from the public adoption of electricity to new breakthroughs in sustainability, renewable energy, and nanotechnology. Our global outlook and established reputation for integrity, expertise, and invention enable us to provide the means to innovate quickly and safely while instilling the confidence that facilitates trade throughout the supply chain and across markets. With that, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and so would invite you to watch a brief video that more robustly tells the history and the story of UL and how we got to today. UL's mission, which is the promotion of safe living and working environments for people everywhere, is at the heart of all that we do. It's reflected in the research that we undertake, the standards that we develop, the testing, inspection, verification, certification, auditing services that we deliver, the training that we conduct, and the education and awareness initiatives that we provide. All of that work could not be possible without the more than 11,000 employees across the globe that work to serve our mission each day. From the engineers on the front lines to many of the senior leadership who are amongst us tonight, I would like to particularly call out and introduce formally a few of our business presidents that are with us this evening. So if you could just acknowledge and wave to signal that you're in the room. Sarah Greenstein, President of UL Environment and Information. Sarah, off in the corner.
I'm sorry.
Clyde Kaufman, President of UL Enterprise Services. Clyde in the back, thank you. Sajeev Jasudis, President of UL Verification Services. And Hiroshi Yamaki, President of UL's Life and Health Sciences Business.
Way back there.
Joining them in DC, each year our senior leadership makes an effort to come to DC to engage with many of you and our stakeholders that are in town. We believe it's important to have a dialogue and understand the challenges and the issues that you face and how you all can be a partner in better advancing and finding common ground in advancing safety. So I would just ask at this time if the roughly 20 UL officers and core team members that are with us tonight, if you would just raise your hands. They represent virtually all functions of UL and several business divisions that I didn't call out specifically. So in addition to our senior leadership team, I'm privileged to introduce a few special guests who are going to offer brief remarks this evening. The first is Congressman Lee Terry. A lifelong Nebraskan, Congressman Lee Terry serves on the Influential Energy and Commerce Committee, the oldest standing legislative committee in the House. For the 113th Congress, Congressman Lee is serving as chairman of the Subcommittee of Commerce, Manufacturing, and Trade. He was first elected to the U.S. House of Representatives in November 1998. In his addition to his chairmanship of Commerce, Lee sits on two other subcommittees as a senior leader on the committee. Seen as a knowledgeable leader in the telecommunications field, Lee serves on the Subcommittee of Communications and Technology. And as a member of the Subcommittee of Energy and Power, he is an advocate for all of the above on energy policy. It is a great honor to introduce our keynote and distinguished guest, Congressman Lee Terry.
Thank you, Ann. Thank you, Ann, and welcome the 20-some from UL and the stakeholders here. It's a pleasure to be invited to speak to you. I come from Omaha, Nebraska. Anyone from the Midwest here, that area? I represent Omaha. Good. Omaha is known as the part of Nebraska with people. Where I have the only district in Nebraska that actually, this is true, this is a fact, has more people than cows. Our cattle in my district are in a freezer or a display counter in the grocery stores. Very tasty, by the way, Nebraska beef. And I'm a University of Nebraska grad, Big Ten. We are very proud of our academics, and so proud we even put the N on our helmet for knowledge. I thought you guys would like that. Big group, the intellectuals here in the tech industry. But as Ann mentioned, I'm on the Energy and Commerce Committee. I chair the Commerce, Manufacturing, and Trade Subcommittee, and also sit on the Technology and Communications, where I'm second in seniority on there, meaning I have to get one person in front of me to either die or run for another office. Since he's a friend of mine, Greg Walden, I'm encouraging him to run for another office. That's how friendly we are here, by the way. For those of you that don't come to Washington very much, when one of your colleagues dies, it's terrible, but it happens at least a couple times every session. The first sentence is, "Oh, geez, Joe died last night," and then without a period or a new sentence, it goes into, "Can we keep the seat?" So, I mean, it's not a real warm and fuzzy town if you're looking for that. But let me get back to technologies and what I'm working on in our subcommittee particularly. The theme of our energy and commerce work is a nation of builders. We want to encourage the innovation in technologies in the United States. So that means that under my the Commerce, Manufacturing, and Trade Subcommittee that has privacy and consumer protections under it, that we have policies that protect people, protect their data, protect their privacy, but at the same time, don't make it difficult for innovation to occur. And what my colleagues that have tried a variety of data security bills, breach notification bills, and privacy have found, because if any of you are government affairs people and you track these bills, you would know that, in the last 8 years, there's been many bills, and how many have passed? 0. Because they haven't been able to find that fine line between encouraging innovation and new technology development and these policies. So I decided that I'm going to be the next person in line to do bills and see what can happen. But we're going to do it in a different way on privacy, data security, breach notification type of policies, where we're, instead of going to draft what one person thinks is the best way to do it, we're going to include stakeholders, but also members of my committee, subcommittee, and full committee, and a task force to be able to develop the right policies.
That help the government and the private sector work together to allow for a safer flow of goods and people. Under his leadership, the DHS Private Sector Office launched the Loaned Executive Program, which provides the opportunity for private sector subject matter experts from across industries to serve in a unique capacity on temporary rotation or sabbatical at DHS. Private Sector Office leads industry engagement for the Blue Campaign Against Human Trafficking, supports many of Customs and Border Protection's trusted traveler programs such as Global Entry and Sentry, and hosts quarterly DHS for a day events. We are honored to have him join with us here today. Please welcome Assistant Secretary Douglas Smith. And serves as the Acting Deputy Assistant Secretary for Science, Space, and Health in the Department of State's Bureau of Oceans and International Environmental and Scientific Affairs, known as OES. In this position, he is responsible for policies and programs in the areas of international science and technology cooperation, space and advanced technologies, and international health and biodefense.